Good morning, everybody. I'm getting a little bit of a late start here, just leaving Moab to head back into Canyonlands today for the Needles District. Getting some food here at my favorite little organic grocery store, which is called Moonflower here in Moab. I pretty much start every day here. They've got a great grab and go section for different sandwiches and salads. So just grabbed some lunch for the day, and now we're gonna hop in the car and head to Canyonlands. As you leave Moab, you pass this really big rock formation that has a sign on it that says "Hole in the Rock." I've always wondered what it is, so I've stopped and we're gonna check it out. So this is kind of a bizarre place. There's like a trading post here. There's a fake zoo with statues of animals. We've got bison, some deer. There's a jail. Oh, bathrooms. Bigfoot's here. Hilarious. Okay, I actually just took a little tour of this place. You can go back inside this house. It was actually built in 1932 by a couple. They lived here with their one child for many years. It took them about 20 years to blast out the, I think, 5,000 square foot dwelling they have in there. So it's really big inside. It was a diner for a little while, then a gift shop, but it was also their home. And you can take a tour, see all the different rooms, but pretty wild in there. Pretty cozy actually as well. Now we're off to explore the Needles District.
My first stop after leaving the Hole in the Rock was to marvel at some more Southwest history with a stop at Newspaper Rock. This is one of the largest known collections of petroglyphs. Historians believe the first designs were carved around 2,000 years ago, left by people from the archaic Anasazi, Fremont, Navajo, Anglo, and Pueblo people, and may have been used as a place of communication between travelers. No one really knows what the images mean for sure, but you will certainly recognize animals, people, and mythological creatures too. To get to the Needles District, you pass right through Bears Ears National Monument, a huge area of buttes, red rock, high plateaus, and early human history, which also deserves a visit.
Welcome to the Needles District of Canyonlands. This section of the park has some absolutely serious hikes, 10 plus miles, a bunch of those. There's also some pretty serious off-road trails for Jeep and other 4x4 enthusiasts. There are just a couple of short trails. One of them that I definitely recommend is the Cave Creek Trail, which is going to take us to some old Anasazi ruins and a cowboy camp from the 1800s. It's hard to believe that anyone would want to be a cattle rancher out here in this sandy and desert landscape, but for hundreds of years people were. And before that, the Anasazi and other native populations of this country lived in this area too. And natural rock outcroppings like this that provided shade were extremely important for the people living in the area. This little cave was used by Native Americans for probably hundreds of years. There's a little oasis in here, which they probably used seasonally. And you can see their handprints and drawings on the walls here.
The trail also passes by an old cowboy camp dating back to the 1800s that would have been used by cattlemen as they grazed their stock in the area. The trail is just 0.6 miles, making it a great option for families.
If you're like me and you're looking around this landscape wondering what the heck people ate back then to survive, well, I'm with you. So I'm going to show you a couple of the things people did eat. One of those is a pinyon pine. This is a type of pine tree. It grows in these kinds of desert landscapes. You can eat the pine nuts, and also you can have these needles. You can make them into tea full of vitamin C, and the pine nuts are really high in protein.
Prickly pear cactus is another food source, as are the berries from the juniper bush. Senna, this yellow bush, can be used to substitute coffee, and this green bush called Mormon tea was used to treat colds and other illnesses. The Needles District has some serious permit-only off-road trails for 4x4 drivers. One of the best is Elephant Hill, which has some serious drop-offs, rock crawling, and scenery. In lieu of harrowing driving today, though, I'm heading out to an area called Chesler Park on foot.
I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm just not as ready for adventure as I'm planning on being. You know, today it's really hot. It's already 86 and I've gotten the day started really late. So it's noon and I'm just getting to the trailhead that I was planning on hiking today, which is really long at 10 miles. So 10 miles in full sun exposure at almost 90 degrees. I'm definitely second guessing today, and we'll see how it goes out there. I am gonna head for the trail, but I'm definitely kind of thinking this is a terrible idea. My body is definitely not wanting to be in the sun today. It has had enough after this whole week in the desert. But I'm hoping that a little bit of time on the trail will maybe get my attitude adjusted in the right way. So I'm gonna get loaded up here out of the car and I'll see you guys on the trail. The section of the park that I'm in right now is called Elephant Hill. This is actually where a bunch of trails spread off into the desert. You have one of the really popular 4x4 trails called Elephant Hill Trail, and then you've got a bunch of hiking trails as well that go to some pretty awesome places, which is where I am right now. Now, I'm starting off at Elephant Hill Trailhead. This goes out to Chesler Park and a couple of different viewpoints, and they range in length from about 6 miles to about 10 to 12 miles. So I'm gonna see how far I'm gonna get today. It is really hot and it's already afternoon, so we'll see, but this is definitely into some of the more spectacular parts of the Needles District where you can see hoodoos, you can walk through some slot canyons, and even climb some ladders. There's a bunch of primitive trails in this area as well, so definitely keep that in mind if you're coming here to explore. And if you're coming here in any of the late spring, early fall, or summer seasons, be very mindful about the heat. It is very hot in this park. You do need a lot of water. You need to be wearing, you know, long sleeves or loose fitting pants if you can. And if you're not doing that, make sure you're definitely layering on the sunscreen every 45 minutes to an hour to protect yourself from the heat. Just a little ways up this trail and we already have some fantastic views of some of the really cool geologic features. There are all these toadstools behind me that really remind me of the video game Mario Brothers. If any of you played that and you hopped from toadstool to toadstool, I can just picture that in my mind. And you can really see some of the different layers here in the sandstone, from the reds and the whites on top. Well, much like the Anasazi and later the Cowboys did, I'm also using one of these natural rock outcroppings for some shade right now. Now, early this morning I picked up some lunch from Moonflower in Moab. I think it's time for a snack. Alright, I'm just kidding. We want to see more of the park. Let's go! Well, this is certainly a strange and bizarre landscape, but it is also very beautiful. And on a day like today, it is extremely hot. So I'm actually turning around here at the Chesler Park viewpoint. Now, there are actually a bunch of different trails that kind of continue on from here. This is a really popular spot for backpackers, although I wouldn't recommend it in the summertime. And you can also continue on the Chesler Park Loop Trail, which is 10 miles total. It takes you through the bottoms of the Hoodoos and even through a slot canyon. That's what I was hoping to do today, but I got a late start and it's a lot warmer than I was planning for. So I'm gonna head back to the parking lot and show you a little bit more of these beautiful landscapes as we make our way out of the Needles District of Canyonland. Well, I have returned from Canyonlands. Wow, that was one hot hike in the Needles District. But that area of the park is just so beautiful. It's much more remote, definitely way more attuned to people that really want to get off the beaten path and really do some long hikes. If I was here in the winter, I would definitely check out the Confluence hike, which is that one where you can see where the Colorado and the Green River unite, and it's supposed to be really spectacular. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't as exciting as probably some of the other videos that I have on the channel, but I've got more content coming to you, a little bit more from Utah, and then I've got some just really spectacular stuff coming up at the end of the year that I am so excited to share with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video.